Hello everybody, this is Eager Vision, and this is the second video in the Imperator Rome series. We are starting on January 1st. As you can see in the top right, it says 453. I forgot to indicate that that's 453 years since Rome was founded. Back then they used, their calendar was set on years since the birthplace of Rome, and actually they didn't really count the years very much. One thing they actually did was based on whoever their consul and co-consul were, that was how they indicated the year. So for example, this one's kind of a weird indicator because it's the year of Publius and Publius. There weren't very many names back then, so it was a very common first name, so Publius and Publius. Now in this game, consulship, I guess, like, they hold elections is how the best way I could put it. They held elections back then, and in the game they will change every 5 years. In reality it was once every year, but since this is such a long game, they don't want to just be changing leadership, every few minutes of the game. So they lengthen that for the game play, and I like that change. But yeah, as in with our leaders, it's the year of Publius and Publius. Soon there will be an election, and we'll have a new leader. So we're on January 1st, 453, which is equivalent to 301 BCE. And we will go ahead and hit play here. Where we left off, we had some active diplomacy going with Pelignia and Mauricia. These are both of our subjects, and we are trying to integrate them into Rome peacefully. There's a couple other subjects we have down here near Mount Vesuvius. We have an event. It seems the people of Mauricia feel robbed after becoming a client state under our rule. They are looking for opportunities to get out of the alliance. Though they are our recent allies, they have played an important role in our armies already. Maybe it is time to make some concessions to calm them down. So this is actually one of the subjects I'm trying to grow my diplomacy with, so we don't want to hurt that too much. Here they gain a lot of an opinion, 30 opinion of us, so that bumps them from 99 to 129. They get money, so we lose money, but we have money. We have 56, so we lose 17.51. That's not too bad. And then political influence, we have 70, so losing 15 isn't too bad either. Here we give them land. I really don't want to do that, and we don't want to ignore them, so I'm going to do some gifts will placate them. I think that's the best move here, and that boosts them up. Right now it shows 89 for some reason, but I'm assuming that will continue to increase. I thought it would have a bigger impact instead of decreasing it, but maybe I read that event wrong. Anyway, we have a chance of a civil war because we have this disloyal character here. He's the governor of Magna Graecia, which is, I think that's this area. I might be wrong. No, I don't know where he actually oversees, but he's he's one of our governors. And we're going to bribe him because we have the money to do that. And that bribe, just by giving him some money, it does add some corruption to our government, but now we are not at risk of civil war. I think that was the best move. We are going to decline these cloth trade requests. And I just want to say thank you for the feedback on the last video. I had a friend reach out to me and tell me about the audio quality, and I've lowered the game volume, so hopefully my voice is clearer. So I surely hope that's working out. But what we are going to try to do is this mission. This game has missions depending on your empire, and it kind of helps give you a roadmap on what you should be doing. So right now I'm going to try my best to ignore these. Okay. Encourage expansion. So this will take 365 days to complete. We're going to go ahead and do that. So encouraging expansion will end on May 1st, 454. We gain claims on the Italian peninsula. Rome will be able to pick between various military modifiers as well on completion. So this is an event that I think spawns out of this encourage expansion mission we just started. Basically, it says our ancestors fought valiantly to protect the city of Romulus from our domineering neighbors. We shall recall what became of these invaders, the Sabines, whose women we carried off to Rome. Etruscan king Lars Parenza, who Horatius Cocles, I'm bad with pronunciations, so I'm just going to say who Horatius valiantly threw back from the Pons Supplicus. May they never dare to threaten the Servian walls. Okay, so anyway, this is just basically a boost between, do we get offensive boosts or like a buff on our defense? And I think offense is the best way to go about it. City of Romulus, if you don't know, Rome is actually named after Romulus, which is one of their mythical founders, I guess you could say. There's this good history on Romulus and Remus that you can look into. I highly recommend looking up Romulus and Remus if you want to learn more about the origin stories of Rome and how they saw the birthplace of their city. But they were actually they saw themselves as people that migrated to Rome from, I believe, Troy and through the Trojan Wars. But I might be misspeaking. It's been a little while since I've read the history. So Lucius Postumius Megillus speaks on our long feud with the Sabines. So the Sabines are coming up quite a bit. The Sabines are this group to our south. Basically, we could decide to gain claim on Sabinian territories, or basically forget, the history and the beef. So obviously we want to expand, so we would prefer to have claim. Now we have a Cassius Belli on Seminum. Or no, we don't. They have one on us. But we will have one soon. We'll get an event for that, I think. A lot of people want our cloth. I guess we could give up another cloth. Okay, so this event, so we could either gain quicker speed on when we fabricate claims, or have a cheaper cost for when we fabricate claims. And I feel like I want the cheaper cost. We also need to get rid of one of these imports, and I'm leaning on the cloth one. Go ahead and remove that trader out. And then we'll trade cloth to this guy as well. Alright, time is moving along here. We cannot declare war yet. We do not have a Cassius Belli on these guys. Cassius Belli. This man must address the soldiers or distribute copies of the speech. So this guy, Alus, is the son of Verginius, and I guess he's a really good speaker out there. So we could get higher morale or higher manpower, and I like the manpower more. We're going to start influencing, or not that. we're going to improve our opinion. We're going to have, I think this is Nuceria. We're going to have them have a higher opinion of us by paying them some money that will boost their opinion. Eventually we'll be able to integrate them into our empire as well. To ensure support for war and official auspices from Jupiter Optimus Maximus, the patron of good faith and greatest of the gods, is recommended by the Fetials. Assurance of victory will hearten the soldiery and buoy the people's enthusiasm. Well, there's no doubt that Roma will be granted favorable auguries. It would not bode well if the priests returned with an inconclusive or Jove forbid pessimistic result. So basically we could lay our faith in Jupiter, where we just trust that our priests are going to say Jupiter gives us a good result, or like has like positive outcome for our nation. We could pay off the augur, the priest basically, and have him give a fake positive affirmation, or we could just not have him do that at all. We could completely avoid having him check in on what Jupiter thinks of our empire, but we lay our faith in Jupiter. I think that's the wise thing. I think we're going to get a good result from it anyway. Oh shit. We did not get a good result. So basically, negation is what they got out of that. So our consul loses 10 popularity. Who is this guy? The augur that gave the talk, or touched base with Jupiter, lost 5 popularity, and we have lost some state religion happiness, and our morale recovery is now down for 60 months. So that was not worth it. I think it's like a roll of the dice kind of thing. Really thought we would get another event for those Samites. Let's see, we're on our way here, May 1st, 454. Not too far away. We keep getting these events though. Rome gains claims on Samanite territories in the provinces of Campania, Apulia, and Lucania. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm not pronouncing anything correctly right now. But their days are numbered. That's all that matters. We now have a Cassius Belli on them. And that means we can go to war. Unfortunately, our leader is depressed, but an election will come soon enough. We can go ahead and increase our army maintenance and our fort maintenance because we're about to go to war. And here we go. So here's how you go to war. You raise all your levies. Got 2,000 men right there and another 16,000 over here. We're going to run them down. They have some very basic armor there. So this is our same event basically as the people to the south, just for the people to the north, the Etruscans. So basically what it's saying is Rome gains a claim on Etruscan territories in the provinces of Tusia and Dodecapolis, and we're going to go ahead and do that. It doesn't mean we're at war with them yet, and we're not at war with Seminum yet, but we will be soon. But we want these claims so that we can just easily go to war with them when we're ready. So for now, we're going to wait until this 16,500 men get down here, and then I'll hit this declare war button, and we'll see what happens. I think we got him though. This is just the same event as the one before. It's all related to that mission we were doing. So Umbria, they must submit to us as well. They are up here. So basically what will happen is we'll take them out, and then we'll build up a little bit more. We'll take them out, and then probably the Umbrians as well. So we gotta be careful with how we do this, though. We don't want to overdo it. We're going to go ahead and set this smaller force on independent operations. Oh wait, no. Don't do that yet. We're gonna wait until we're at war. So we're gonna pause, declare war. Doesn't really matter which ones. For some reason they won't join, but that's okay. I don't need my allies. So we are at war. Gonna have them do independent operations, and then no, actually I want them to do carpet siege. I want them on independent operations. Okay, and we can hit go. They're going over here. Okay, what's this about? The Etruscans and Genutians are plotting the demise of Rome. Okay, this is interesting. Rome gains claims on all Etruscan and Genutian territories in Italia and Magna Graecia. Or let us not be too hasty. I'm gonna go with the more aggressive option. Doesn't mean we're at war with them yet. However, we are at war with quite a few right now. We're at war with the Seminoms and the Lucanias. The Lucanians, or whatever, however you pronounce it. But anyway, they came in to support this green nation here, Seminum. And we are about to see our first battle. It's looking good. We have about 10,000 more people than they have. Oh yeah, we got them. It's not even close. They should retreat any second. There we go. So in this battle, we lost 3,000 men basically, but they lost over 4,000. So I think that's a win for us, and we'll continue to take their land and expand here. Can go ahead and uptick the speed a little bit. I do want my boats to be on hunt fleets. Actually, I will put them on reconnaissance, just because I think that's better to have one on recon and the other hunting fleets, but I don't actually know much about the Navy just yet. We're in another battle here. It's not looking so good. I need to change something as well. Let's see what this says. The efforts of our more belligerent senators have succeeded in persuading the majority of the Curia, and even the people of Rome, that Italia is ours. The Campus Martius is alive with the cries of our confident soldiers, and fresh spices reinforce the gods' ascent for war each day. The end of the recent conflict with our enemies in Etruria and Samnium have left our republic as the strongest power on the Italian peninsula. Our victory was firmly convinced our feudatories in our valley has firmly convinced our feudatories in the valley of supporting our cause, and has shown other smaller states the value of being on our side. Roman settlers are now moving on their own accord into the regions to our north and east, establishing new colonies, expecting our protection. All look to us from Seminum and Etruria to Sicily and Carthage, awaiting our next move. A sign of warfare and a man at war. So I don't really... Oh, this is the event that was created from the Encourage expansion mission being completed, so that's why that popped up. So now we have unseat the Umbrians in the Treskins, destroy Appalachians, and then crush Sammonites. So we are currently crushing the Sammonites, and we are victorious in this battle, but it wasn't that great for us. So I'd really like to change the shock action if I can, because he's about to get wrecked. Yeah, he's gonna get absolutely wrecked. I'm gonna change this one. And he needs to be on envelopment. So there's different tactics. I don't really know what each of them do, but I know the higher percentage, the more likely it is to win. We're doing well in this war so far. We have expanded into their territory and they haven't done anything to us. We're gonna go ahead and, I'm pretty confident, so we're gonna increase the speed a little bit more. We do have one army retreating. Massili is right here, and they're at war with Carthage, so that's what this is showing. We could either give them aid or let them stand alone. I really think Carthage is just going to wreck them no matter what. I'm not going to give them aid. It's not worth it. So we got some money and higher opinion from one of our subjects, which is always nice. We're pretty close to that 190 with them as well, so that's helpful. And we are expanding into this nation as well. And so I'm hoping maybe, just maybe, we can take all of it all at once, but it might be too many points. We're at 71 down here on the bottom near the map. You can see our progress. We're at 76 now, and we want to see that as close to 100 as possible, if not 100, before I decide to end the war. If I decide it's going too slowly and costing too much, I might end it early, but I think I'm going to go all the way to 100 on this one. I don't have any reason not to. I mean, we have 4,000 men up there in the top, 4,000 manpower still to call on. We have an army of 15,000 marching through. There's not really much more to worry about, except for this force of 6,000 that I should probably have them chase down. Yeah, actually, never mind. I'm gonna have them siege this area. I think it'll be fine. It's not a big deal. We're gonna go to 3 speed. So the sieges do take a while, but once we siege this settlement, it'll give us a lot of advantages in that area. We also have an import route we need to focus on. Looks like, what do we want? I'm thinking more livestock or maybe some fish. We're gonna go with fish. Gives us some more food. I also should build a granary, now that I think about it, because they're maxed out on the food multiplier. We're gonna go up to 4 speed, because why not? Just to try to get this war out of the way. I'm gonna bump it back down to 3 speed, actually. I like to see progress. Looking at the map, not much has changed. Carthage is spreading out. They are taking out this Maslia nation. Of course, nothing's gonna hold together up here. Nothing's very consolidated over here. These guys started out big, so they're gonna stay big for a while. They started out big. Looks like we have Scandal Growing rumors of terrible indecencies perpetrated on slaves at debauched gatherings honoring Bacchus, where Gaius and his lewd entourage exhibit and debase their latest acquisitions from the Emporia of Veii. Gaius denies everything in the most stringent terms, claiming the tales to be lies engineered by his political opponents. The gossip is backed by several witnesses who claim to have been besmirched by Gaius personally. Slaves and virtuous citizens across Latium are demanding government-sanctioned justice to deter these excesses, and we can no longer ignore the situation. Come on, Gaius. Why do you gotta be such a weirdo? We will conduct a full and fair investigation, token inquiry, or why waste our time? So, I don't want to hurt. So, if we go with this one, our slaves are very unhappy, and that's going to affect a bunch of different things. So, I don't really want to do that. I mean, here he loses popularity but gains loyalty to us. Here he loses loyalty, loses popularity. Every member of his family loses loyalty, and we lose gold, but we gain some political influence. So I think this middle option is the best to like kind of inquire about it, but not really, you know, like that's probably the best one. Trial developments. It is clear after some preliminary groundwork by jurists that the accused is essentially guilty beyond all doubt. It is a minor miracle that this did not come to light sooner. The unspeakable goings on at the Fabius Villa scarcely bear thinking about. It is, however, very hard to ignore just how much situations like these lend themselves to those less scrupulous and willing to earn the debt and gratitude of their colleagues in need. Could either see what happens next and the family loses some prestige. Clearly this is all some sort of smear campaign. They lose a little bit of prestige, gain a little bit of loyalty. I don't know. I think this is probably the best. The top option, I mean, if he's really guilty, he should pay the consequences of that. We're gonna go with some livestock here. These guys. He ends up having to pay a small fine. Good to know. And we have looted. We have sacked Grumentum, which is where our army was, but we're not going to loot super heavily because I think it's best that we loot lightly, especially since we will be overseeing the whole peninsula. We don't want to destroy too much while we're here. We are going to slow the speed down. Go on carpet siege. We're almost at that 100 mark, so just want to make sure we get there while we can. I think 3 speed is good now that I have that set up. See, an election is coming soon on October 1st, so we need to watch out for that. And outside of that, we're basically all set. We're going to continue on to that last spot, and we'll be at 100 after that. So we've been defeated in one of our battles, but it shouldn't be that bad overall. So we're going to take this spot, and that should be the war. Going to pause, let the looting be gentle. I'm seeing 99, not 100. I wonder if it'll let me take everything anyway. And it seems that it will. Yeah, it will. Okay, let's go and end the war then. So this will increase our rank to a regional power. And now, I don't know how much you guys know about Rome, but Rome used to have triumphs. So when they would conquer nations, they would take their rulers in what was called a Roman triumph and have a giant parade where they would lead their conquered rulers down, the streets of Rome, and at the end of the parade they would kill them. It was very brutal, but back then life was brutal, and the population loved it. Actually, they saw it as a spectacle and as a symbol of how great their nation was for being able to take out their enemies. But this is basically having me make that decision. So we could either do our enemies deserve no quarter, we could banish them, or imprison them, or we could pass judgment on important families. I always do this pass judgment on important families one, just because I want to see the stats. So this guy has 10, 8, 7, and 4. 10 is pretty good, honestly. He's got a friend as well named Gaius. This guy is friends with Quintus, so they may, but his stats suck, so I'm not gonna keep him. Quintus, he's got a rival. I don't like that. So Decimus will keep. And this guy's got an 11 and charisma, lots of riz. This guy's also got an 11, but he's better because he's got 9 martial. And Gaius is a 9 and a 7. Oh yeah, that's the guy that was friends with the guy that had bad stats. So probably shouldn't keep him if we're gonna off the other guy. We're gonna take Statius. Now we could decide if we want to keep these guys. I think, Octavius we're not going to keep. Quintus, might as well. I mean, he's got a 10 martial. That'll come in handy later on. Aphilius, he's got an 11 and a 7. That's worth it. But we're going to have the rest crucified. So we have increased our rank to a regional power instead of local power, since we are now an independent country with at least 25 territories. So we can guarantee other countries, threaten war, and have alliances now. And then it has these other multipliers. So we are expanding our empire. But anyways, thank you for watching. We will continue our campaign on the next video. I think the next group we will fight is the Etruscans, but we might continue and expand through these smaller territories if I'm a little intimidated. I haven't done much research on how their military is looking at this point, so I need to dive into that. And it also seems that they're in a war with the Umbrians, so it might be actually a good time to rebuild our manpower and then strike right after that war's over. We have all these decisions to make as well, which we will go through at the start of the next video. And we will also, hopefully by the next video, be able to integrate some of our feudatory, like our subjects. I like calling them subjects, it's easier. So yeah, lot to see next video. We should consolidate the peninsula soon and eventually expand into modern day Greece, maybe jump across to Spain and North Africa after we deal with the Carthage threat. So don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. Thank you for watching and have a great day.